Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Lincoln Logs TV. Appreciate you guys tuning in. It's official. I have the 2020 virus, all right? So it's not 2020 anymore. It's mid-January 2021, but my family and I went to Georgia, visited my sister over Christmas break, and I got some fur balls flying around over the Christmas holiday, and we came back with it. We all had it. All four of us had it. Everybody's fine, no big deal, but I had to kind of sit around and do nothing for 2 weeks. I sent my guys home. I didn't want to get them sick. The gentleman we were working for that we just finished the project on, he had it really bad back in the spring, so I wasn't worried about him getting infected. But you know, it just made sense for us to sit at home and not do anything, which is not really my style. But was able to get some filming done. I'm in. This is my office. I was able to get the whole thing painted. I've been in this house for 11 years. This is my home office. Been in the house for 11 years, never painted. It was just beaten up bad. Nicks, scratches, dog marks, everything all over the place. So went ahead and I just filmed the whole series over about 2.5 days, 3 days. There is a ton of stuff in this little office, and I had to move it all to one side, do a couple walls, push it all, put it back together, and I think I ended up doing it over a 3-day period just because there's so much stuff to move. But did a little time lapse. Take a look. Tell me what you think. If you have any questions, let me know. If you like it, hit the like. If you like what you see on the channel, hit the subscription button. Much appreciated. It helps us grow and do some things we want to do here. And yeah, take a look. About halfway through, I'll stop and we'll get a look at materials and a tool list of stuff we needed, and we'll keep on rolling. So this desk was a huge pain in the butt to move. It's 3 pieces. It's very heavy. I had to take it apart in sections to slide away from the wall to give me room to do my cut in. Cutting in is the process of painting the inside and outside corners of everything and up against argued trim. It allows you room to get your roller up and down and around different areas without contacting those other finished surfaces. It's an important part of the process. It has to be done every time you do a new coat of paint. First roller coat goes on pretty smoothly with this type of paint, and I just make sure I'm taking precautions to get everything evenly applied as I go. I ended up doing a second cut in and a second roller coat before I took the time to put everything back in place so I could move to the other side of the room. All right, let's take a quick second and talk about some of the basic things we need for this. You're painting, it's paint, so you need obviously a paintbrush. See that? Purdy. That's all I ever buy. I've been doing this stuff for 20 some years. That's all I ever buy is Purdy brushes. I don't buy anything else. Love these things. They're worth their weight in gold. That's about 2 years old. That's how good I take of my brushes, how much care I take of my brushes. I really clean them really well, and you can't mess around with that stuff, right? So you're gonna need a little pan for your cut-in paint, all right, a little mixing pan, or a bucket rather. You're gonna need a little bucket, a 1 quart or 2 quart or 3 quart bucket, something small for your cut-in work. I have a little steel wire brush that I use to clean my paintbrush with. It gets all the gooped up paint out of there at the end of the day or at lunchtime when I'm cleaning. Roller frame, all right? Obviously the roller cover goes over that bad boy. It's pretty simple. Rag, gotta have rags. Roller bucket, all right? This thing fits. You can see in there. The roller frame fits down in there. I put all my paint in there, roll it, and I just carry it around with me. I can also put a wet rag over the top of it and keep it from drying up. So that stuff works really well. All right, another thing you might need is this, masking tape. I do not believe in tape. I don't use it. I have a pretty steady hand. I've been doing it for a while. I like the challenge of not having to tape. Plus, it takes forever. This takes forever to do, and it eats up a lot of your time, and I'm already too busy, so I don't want to mess with that. Finally, roller cover, all right? This is a Purdy, just like the brush manufacturer. It's a Purdy. I get these at Sherwin-Williams. It's a 3/8 inch nap. I would not recommend anything higher than this for any kind of wall work. I use flat panel and everything. If you use a 1/2 inch nap or even something bigger, it could leave what's called railroad tracks, which is the lines from the roller up and down. It's really, you have to go back and back roll it to pain in the butt. So if you use a good 3/8 nap, or if you use a good 3/8 inch nap roller, it'll work really well. It'll cover for you, and it's a little bit easier to clean. And yeah, it's good stuff. Again, I like Purdy on this stuff. Finally, we need paint. Obviously, we need paint. I didn't have to prime this. It was already painted. I did have a couple areas where I had to repair the wall and some different areas where there's some old holes. So I should have primed those. I didn't because I've got so many pictures and it's not that big of a deal. But I probably should have primed those, but I didn't. But I use, that's what I use right there. I think you guys probably saw this last spring in my kitchen video where we're painting, when Mike and Ray were painting with me. We like the ProMar 200 from Sherwin-Williams. It's kind of the contractor grade paint. Really, really, really great coverage on this stuff. If you go and buy the Valspar stuff at Lowe's, especially with this dark paint, this is called Thunder Gray, the color is, from Sherwin-Williams. If you get a dark paint, it'll take every bit of 3 coats with Valspar. It only took me 2, and it really covered really well with 2 coats over a very light cream colored paint. So yeah, this stuff covers really well. It's not cheap paint. It is, I think I'm paying, you know, 48 bucks a gallon for this stuff, as opposed to Valspar, which is like 16 bucks, but go to Lowe's and get that if you want it. But it's going to take you 4 coats to cover in the same color. So yeah, so that's everything you need for this. You can use drop cloths on it. Use drop cloths a lot, especially over a tile floor like this. But yeah, it's, you know, if you use a drop cloth, use plastic, use old shirts, whatever you got, you can, you know, put that stuff down there. I'm not messy with paint. I don't drip. I don't splatter anything like that. Accidents happen, so you might want to use a drop cloth. So yeah, so that's our list of the stuff we needed for this project. Had quite a bit of repair work on this wall. There was a bunch of nicks and dings, and had an old alarm system I'd removed a couple years ago that I've never painted, so had to get that taken care of. And you'll notice I vacuum and clean as I go. I like a clean job site. I just don't like all the dust and messing with all that stuff as time goes. It just makes it a lot better project when things are cleaned as the project is going on, as opposed to jumping back and forth to clean. So yeah, so that's the process, and you can see I get into my cutting shortly after that. Again, just like the first 2 walls I did, I'm putting an even coat of paint over the entire surface. I did have to leave that one little repair area that wasn't completely dry. I had to leave that alone for a couple hours and let that dry, and come back and touch it up with a quick coat after I did the second coat. So this is the final area. It's a small little arts and craft area I created for my wife and my daughter. Had to move all this stuff out of there. Really, this area took me as long to paint as it did the other areas, just because of all the cutting in I had to do on this, and kind of fitting myself into these tight places took a little bit of time.